the Beatrix.
Yeah, I really want to see what is actually going to be happening inside of the early game here from both of the sides. Like, look at Myanmar. They can play super aggressive with the lineup that they were having at the moment, especially with the presence coming from the Cho and Varamis. I think like that two hero will be a problem, a big problem if they rotate very fast in the early game. While from the side of Philippines, just like what you've mentioned, with the front to back heroes that they were having and also the movement that they can do is just going to be so good. And yeah, we will just jump into the first game here on a best of 3 series inside of 15 World Esports Championship Asia Regional Qualifier Myanmar versus Philippines.
Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Into the land of dawn we go. Looking at the emblems, nothing too special as of right now. Just both teams going for the standard emblems and even spells here. What's interesting is Few has chosen to go for the Purify actually here on the Iesf, knowing that the RWM is already a little bit of anti-CC, but Blink tries to go for a cheeky little steal. Kaltizi going to be able to punish Blink just a bit here with a few of the dashes, but it's not going to be committed onto. Both teams understanding their power spike, wants to just keep on farming up until level 4.
Yeah. But I think like the lane on the Melissa's hand is just like going to be like, it's supposed to be on the upper hand inside of the Melissa. So I think the rotation going to the gold lane coming from Philippines towards Myanmar is needed to try to stop this Melissa to go for something just like what Kaltizi actually doing. Kaltizi doing in the top lane to actually stop the movement, to try to maybe distract a bit to the Melissa. But aside of that one, I think that the rotation that needs to be made by Myanmar is actually going to the Arlot or maybe going for the Iesf, because we know that actually Iesf is just going to be a big problem.
Well, there you go. That's the first dive attempt of a pickoff attempt. Well, Kaltizi with electrifying beats onto the back, forcing Lina to flicker out to safety here. The Myanmar squad is already going for a lot of the aggressive moves. Lina as well, just lane swapping down below as Few does a little bit of a trade onto the mid lane. Not going to go for the turtle pressure, as I feel like Myanmar have more control here, but Ogwen's doing a really good job at just pulling it back, trying to reset it, while Blink is actually in a 1v1 situation with Way the Dragon as well in the mid lane. He's looking for a solo kill on Few. Barely gets it there. Few still able to escape, saving the Purify as well, but that means that Burmese Ghouls have a lot more pressure to play with. Now with the penalty zone popped in, Shadow gonna be brought back to the team, but the call ultra comes down by Lina. Flap TZ brought back as well. Burmese Ghouls having more pressure here, but Flap doesn't want to give up, keeps jumping with a vengeance. Now it's gonna be Ogun, retires revenge, and Kyle TZ with a beautiful retribution. Despite Myanmar having more pressure, the Philippines gets the first turtle.
It was a perfect moment coming from the Joy. Kyle TZ coming with that retribution. I thought Myanmar will try to secure that without any contest back coming from the Philippine side, but no, they got it right. They got it in the perfect moment. And I think like the Myanmar, they responded really well to the Philippines. It's just like, it feels like a bait coming from the Philippine sides, you know? Like Myanmar got a bait and they are using a lot of resources, especially the cult altar. So when that turtle is almost being caught by Myanmar, Philippines just diving, using the potential coming from the Joy itself. But yeah, this is the 3 minutes going inside of the Land of Dawn. The differences inside in terms of gold is not too far from one to another. It's still like 200, 300 gold differences. There's still not a lot of movement that is being done by the side of Myanmar or Philippines, but on top lane, we have Dragon is being popped.
Good kick by Blink there, nice attempt. But yeah, it's just going to be denied there with a flicker. Ogwen, Charge Revenge and the Rage, bringing Nico back right there. Super Marco pops in, the viewer's passion. Now it's going to be Kaltizi, who jumps into the back. That's going to be the go away and the call ultra pop. Kaltizi buying a lot of resources, and the real world manipulation gets placed down as well. The Burmese Ghouls, their aggression has been just countered again and again. Philippines have been able to react to these plays so well.
Is it because they don't have enough damage? I don't know why they cannot even get the first blood yet. I think that the movement coming from Myanmar, they just responded really fast to trust to go back, to not continue the war. But in the mid lane, I think like the lot of movement that is trying to be brought by Ogwen. But this is a hit and catch hero coming from the side of Philippines. If the moment is not perfect, they won't be having a very good moment for Philippines to engage towards Myanmar. And I think that is the case here. Well, for Myanmar, they really want to try to pick off the players coming from the Philippine sides. But with 3 flickers is actually helping them to run away from the pickup that might caused by this choke. And I think like they don't have enough damage in to try to contest the Philippine side, but the turtle is going to be taken by the side of Caltese.
Yeah, once again, the Philippines just with the overall better setup into the turtle side. Even a slick little dodge there by Caltese from the penalty zone flicker combo. And it does feel like the Philippines are just very comfortable where they are right now with the heroes that they've been given. Meanwhile, Myanmar, they're kind of forced to make these crazy, desperate plays all the way in the early stage of the game. Even Shadow just definitely overcommitting there, extending with none of his teammates around.
Yeah, none of the backup that happened just now. But yeah, one kill, 1 point here already been taken by the hand of Philippines, and the gold suddenly swinging to their side, and it's like 1,000 gold lead right now. But in the bottom lane, we're seeing Way of Dragon Big Pop.
Oh, a bit of a misplay there. That's giving the final slash, bringing 3 members down. Flapteezy still gonna be alive here, but Stitch finds the kill with the Inspire. Caltese going to be knocked up, and that's another for Myanmar. Able to find a good trade in the bottom lane and even in the mid lane. Wow, an amazing siege by Nico. They're trading really good, and they're back even right here in the 6th minute.
And I think like Caltese is a little bit being baited to the side of Myanmar. He can just like run away from that kind of situation, in my opinion, but he tried to jump it back to the side of Myanmar because, you know, it's like almost getting the players from Myanmar side. We can see from the replay here how is the penalty zone actually doing a really good job to give a CC towards Philippines, but aside of the CC, they don't have any other follow-up. They don't have any other movement that can be brought to the side of Philippine side. But yeah, with 2 turrets in the hand of Myanmar, and might be 3 because in the top lane, we're seeing 3 members from the side of Myanmar focusing to get another turret. They're just playing objectively towards Philippines that is unable to do the same thing towards Myanmar. They are securing 2 turrets, but
Yep, absolutely. Here, though, there's another setup for the turtle where, whoa, there's a little bit of an aggressive move there with the way the dragon onto Caltese. Again, a lot of resources burned down. Stitch gonna be caught in the real world manipulation again. It's the Philippines who are reacting to the aggressive movements, the proactive movements, and punishing Myanmar with Super Marco, who now picks up a double kill. It's gonna be the turtle secured by Myanmar, though, so they don't come out of the straight empty-handed. They still get something back, and in terms of gold, they are quite even still, but they gotta be really careful because the Philippines, they're about to hit their power spike here with the mid lane turret getting siege down. Ogwin jumps in with a Tyrant's Revenge, not able to find it. The final slash isolates Nico. It's a Tyrant's Rage by Ogwin with a flicker onto 3 members. The combo comes through, but Stitch has just respawned. The timing impeccable with now Lina flickering forward, bringing few back. That's going to be the real world manipulation. Giving him a little bit more. Nico unable to find the Appraiser's Wrath. Flapteezy falls, but Myanmar still comes out on top with an amazing reactive team fight engagement.
oh my god, that cult altar is just so perfect. It's perfect in time to actually save it, but another movement that is being done in the mid lane right now. What is actually gonna happen? Way of Dragon is being fought by Caltese, still able to survive, and they are oh my god, the damage coming from Super Marco. Eliminate 1 player from the side of Myanmar. Nico is being dragged down here. I think like in this 9 minutes inside of the game, a lot of back and forth that happened. Like Myanmar sometimes like on the lead with the counter setup that they were doing, but from the side of Philippines, I think like they really have the moment right now. They have hit the items that they need, but in the mid lane again, another pick off happens.
Well, it's going to be a trade, though. So there you go. Caltese traded in for Stitch. But again, super well played by Kyle there. Understanding that there is, I mean, the Stitch is just go away, is on cooldown. That's the only skill that can really stop him right now with the penalty zone. Once again, popped in. Not able to find anyone because it's cancelled out by Ogwin. Now it's a Tyrant's Revenge, trying to find Blink. 1 for 1 in that particular situation. With Philippines being ahead, I feel like that could still be good for Myanmar, though. But I really feel like right now, Myanmar needs to start getting their marksmen up ahead, right? So with that pickoff from Kyle Teasy, it's really gonna slow them down. Meanwhile here, oh my god, it's another pickoff by Blink, finding Super Marco, but he still somehow is able to escape right now with Nico trying to chase him down, but the conceal helps him out. Kyle Teasy jumping back and forth once again, and Myanmar, out of nowhere, they find an absolutely massive pick onto Super Marco. He doesn't die, but the fact that he has to recall gives Myanmar so much more pressure to play with for this first Lord.
Will they be able to secure the Lord? That is the question here. FlapCZ is already there along with Oakwood, but he is using the Terror Revenge already. A lot of resource is being used at the moment. Super Marco still holding his position, but there you go, the Lord will be taken to the Lina. And I think like it's just gonna be a big moment for Myanmar having the Lord on their side after losing some particular war towards Philippines.
Amazing fight once again from Myanmar. The way they were able to force those fights from the Philippines was absolutely amazing, right? The Philippines had the lead, had the objective control in almost every single lead in every single department, even in the XP department. The Super Marco out-leveling Stitch by 2 levels. But again, it feels like, again, Blink has been able to make these impactful plays here again whenever the team really needs him to. And that's what they're going to be relying up until the late game. Well, up until Stitch gets that power spike with a few more items, maybe the Melphic Roar, and maybe a Wind of Nature to escape from a lot of the physical damage coming in from Philippines.
I think like from the side of Philippines, yeah, I think like what position is also like very important. If they got a perfect momentum with when using Terror Rage along with Terror Revenge, it's just gonna be super good with the Neveros patient. But it also depends on the movement from the Blink. Look at that one. He's been using the Cult Altar along with but
Oakwood and the final slash, that's a combo right there, and Stitch is going to fall. Heck, the entire Myanmar squad will just be gunned down by Super Marco. It should be a wipeout, but Lina, he has that passive, he instantly respawns back in, but again, it's a mistake by Myanmar. They really tried to go for Super Marco, but his very amazing, impeccable positioning got him out of that one, with Lina here trying to go for a cheeky pick. It seems like he has to recall away. Super Marco trying to chunk this mid lane turret down with another wave coming down to help him. He will be able to siege it down. The Philippines are back on track with a 4,000 gold lead.
They are baiting it really well. They have been using the resources that they need to actually pick up the members from the Philippines with the Way of Dragon along with the Cult Altar that is previously being used by Lina along with Blink. It's giving time for Philippines to try to contest it back. Owen is doing a really amazing work here where he jumped with the Terror Revenge to actually like blocking the players from Myanmar's side and letting Super Marco to just do what he can do with the Neveros patient and everything. And it's 30 seconds to the second Lord inside of the Land of Dawn. It might be not that critical yet since like it's the second Lord and the gold difference is still like 5,000, and the item builds I think like so far from the side of Myanmar is still having like pretty decent one, but Stitch, after he's being picked up like 3 times, it's actually creating a lot of pressure to this Melissa to actually giving the damage towards Philippines, and it's not going to be that easy since a lot of dive potential coming from the the Philippine sides, like Kufra, like Kyle Teasy, that actually pushing you to use a lot of resources on the side of Myanmar, especially called Altar. So next war, if they are using the resources, it's just going to be super hard for Myanmar to survive a lot of stuff. But yeah, the Lord is just going to be taken to the side of Philippines without any contest. Yeah.
No contest whatsoever there. Beautiful Lord dance by the Philippines. Again, just utilizing these waves, clearing it out one by one, and having just a better setup overall with their more mobile composition, I would say, right? The joy is really something that Philippines can utilize, not just in team fights, but also in just the rotations overall with the Lord takes. They can also just go and clear the bottom lane, the far lane, whereas for Myanmar, they don't really have any mobile, players except for the Cho, which is again kind of weird because Blink has been set up into the far lanes to try to deal with it as a roamer. Philippines are going to be able to jump onto Nico right now with the Tyrant's Revenge and the Rage combo, and even the final slash, even the cancel from Ogwen with a bouncing ball. Shadow will fall, and Super Marco will pick up a double kill. The Lord still being micromanaged here. It's going to be Super Marco who's looking for the snipe. Going to be kicked back to the team, but Super Marco is still able to escape. Finally gets shut down there by Lina as he pops into Cold Ultra with mini waves crashing down. Philippines do not have more to say. It's still going to be the Myanmar squad defending it for now as they have lost their gold laner. Super Marco finally taken down, but he is absolutely massive. 10, 1, and 2.
10, 1, and 2, 12. Over 14 points on the hand of Philippines. More than 90% participation coming from Super Marco with dealing tons of damage towards Myanmar. It was like a very slight moment mistake here coming from Super Marco to be picked off, but definitely Myanmar really want to hold this one. They still want to catch the point. This is best of 3 series. They still want to slot to the Iesf right there. But it's gonna be a pick off towards Oakwood. That is opening a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, only the immortality though. Flapteezy bringing him back with the final slash dish. Gonna be able to outplay Kalteezy, but he actually is able to escape. Nico losing that immortality. Super Marco with the impeccable timing. Gonna be able to dish out that damage as Kalteezy jumps back on to Blink. Takes him very low. And Super Marco with a snipe from downtown Oakwood as well. With the flicker and the final slash. Bren, Philippines are here to play, and it's another triple kill for Super Marco as they end game 1. That's Philippines with match point.
That's a Philippine